Bash guards come complete with 8 washers, 4 thin ones, 4 thick ones, a bash guard, 2 extended nuts, and 2 extended screws. In just a matter of minutes, you can install this bash guard onto your bike using just simple hand tools. Just follow our step-by-step. Start by taking your chain off your chain ring. Then, once you get your chain off your chain ring, just loosen this 10mm fixing screw right here. Once the fixing screw is loose, take your drive side off your bike, leave everything else still on your bike. If you're using a double, take the 4 bolts that hold your small chain ring on out and set it aside for now. Okay, now that you've decided which side you want to put your bash guard on, go ahead and take those 2 bolts out. Set them aside. In this particular crank set, there's a thick washer. Set that aside. Push the nuts out and also set those aside. Now you're ready to go ahead and install. Now for the install. Take a good look at your bash guard. You notice one side is nice and smooth and the other side has a slight relief on it. This little bit of relief goes against your crank set. So this is how we're going to go ahead and install this. We're going to take our 2 flat washers, the thin ones. We're going to install our nuts. And in this case, I chose to use the existing screw set that I had with my crank set. Now go ahead and put the nut in. Put the washer on. Remember, the relief goes against the crank set. Put that on. Put my other nut through. My last thin flat washer. Bash guard over the top. Put my screws back in. Take my little pocket tool. Draw them down just a little bit snug here. Take my other pocket tool. Just hold that nut in the back just like that. Bring it down tight. Bring the next one down tight. Check it one more time. And there you have it. That's installed. Let's go ahead and put our small ring back on. Once your ring's in place, now your bolts are in, let's snug them down. Best way to do that is go across from each bolt, tighten them down. Just double check. Okay, one thing to remember about these fixing screws, this is an ultra fine thread. It's an 8 by 0.75mm thread, which is a very fine thread, so you don't have to tighten really hard on these. You're going into an aluminum crank set with a very fine thread. Get them nice and tight, but don't over tighten them, because what will happen is you'll strip them out. Okay, hook your chain over the spacer on your crank arm. Take your crank set. Put it on the spline. place. Start to draw that bolt down. Give it a good tightening. Take your chain, put it on your small ring if you have one. If not, put it back on your chain ring, on your big one. Ready to go. Go for a ride.